Hello and welcome to this video. I am the Decisive Gamer, and this is going to be a cheap silver Bundesliga side in the formation 4-5-1, and it's also going to be it's fairly actually yeah, it's a cheap squad, and all the players are rare. Now I've played with this squad for quite a few games, so I know it's a strong team, and that's why I've decided to do a squad builder on it. Now starting goal is going to be the keeper Unistall. I believe that's how it's said. Now, this guy's a very, very good keeper. He's a lot better than most of the goalkeepers I've used. He's very tall and he's got very high reflexes. So beating him, he can save like top corner shots quite easily. And when playing against goal teams, he's very good. He cost me 1,600 coins, so he himself is very cheap. So the first centre back is going to be, when I get him there, it's going to be Kirchhoff. Now this guy's amazing. He's really tall. He plays for the team FC Mainz or Mainz, wherever it's said. And yeah, as I said, he's really tall, and he's got 72 pace to go along with that. So he's exceptionally good in the air, defensively and attacking. He's 195 centimeters there, so he's 6'2", I think. He scored 1 goal in 9 games, and he cost 2,200 coins. He's got the 72 pace and 74 heading, but also has got 70 passing. So if he ever wanders forward, he can play passes through, what's really useful. To play alongside him in the defence is the man I know as Silver David Luiz. Not just the fact he's from Brazil and looks like David Luiz, he also plays a lot like him. He's got the 72 pace, 73 defending, 77 heading, and he in game his guide is practically David Luiz who's a bit more tanned. And when you see him run towards a player, you just see him as David Luiz. He's really good. I had a different centre back there originally. But I got this guy in as when I searched and saw him, I just thought he looked really good. He hasn't scored for me, and he's left-footed, but he's a very, very good defender. 2.3 grand I paid, what is yet again a cheap amount for a silver centre back. At right back is going to be a Spanish player, the only one in the team. And he's also a player you could use in a Spanish side, and I think this guy is really good. Carvajal, he plays for Bayer Leverkusen. He's got 85 pace and 69 defending, and he doesn't go forward too much, but it's also really useful, and that's reflected in his 69 defending. He's right-footed, and he hasn't scored for me in the 9 games, but he costs 1,500 coins. So there's a right back from Hamburg who's got 90 pace, who's German, but he costs 20 grand, between 15 and 20 grand. So Carvajal is definitely a lot cheaper and better option in my opinion. At left back is going to be Löw from Borussia Dortmund. This guy is really, really good. I think he's probably the best left back I've used. I did have another left back for this team, and he wasn't doing too well, so I got this guy in, and he's better than any of the left backs I've actually used in the Bundesliga. Maybe not as good as Alaba, but many of the other options like Panda and Fuchs, this guy is definitely better. He goes forward when it's necessary, and has quite a good shot on him, and he's got 62 shooting, and he forms very good partnerships with the left midfielder I have in this team. I think he was the priciest player in this squad at 3.5 grand, but he's a very good player as well. Now to the central midfielder spot. It's I can't remember what this guy's name is. I think he plays for Bayer Leverkusen, if I remember. No, he plays for Mainz, the same team as the centre back Kirchhoff. And this guy is very, very good attacking and defensively. What's important for that central midfield role He's got 77 pace on him, so he's not the slowest. What's really helpful, he's got 72 defending, 72 heading, 72 passing, 70 dribbling, and 60 shooting. So he's one of these players that his stats are all very similar in each place. What can come in useful? So attacking and defending, those stats are very good. I don't think he's scored. He scored against a friend, but obviously that's not online, so that didn't count. And he cost me 1,600 coins. And there's another central midfielder you can get, but he plays for Borussia Dortmund, and he's very pricey. So I would suggest this guy is a really good option to play there. At the first attacking mid position, actually no, at left midfield I'll go for first, is a guy called Traore. I don't know how to sum this guy up. He seemed to be better in a more like the cam or striker role, because he's quite tall and quite strong. He's got 87 pace, but then he lacks an aerial ability. Actually, no, he's not tall at all. He's 170. He hasn't scored for me, as I don't particularly like left-footed players too much on the left-hand side of the field, because I just find it quite hard to get shots away. So this guy's an alright player, but I definitely would get someone else. But and he doesn't have good defending stats, so he can't help back there either. The next player is going to be a player from the Czech Republic. I can't remember what this guy's name is. If I remember, it's quite a complicated name. Petzela. Petzela, that's what I'll call him, Petzela. This guy is really good. He plays for FC Augsburg in the they're all Bundesliga, and he's scored a few goals for me, I think. He's only got one. He got a double against a friend when I played him, and he's one of the bargains of the team. 400 coins. I got him in a silver pack the other day as well. What I wasn't too happy about because I already had him, but he's very, very pacey. He's the same height as Traore, but he's a lot better than Traore, the left midfielder. So this guy's definitely worth getting. And the two wingers are just there mainly to supply the wing support for the rest of the team. At the two cams, there's going to be a Turkish and a Japanese player. I'm going to start with Akichi. Now, I mainly built this team around this guy, as I saw him on a review on a team by GCI Messi. If you haven't seen his channel, he's a very good YouTuber. And this guy's been alright for me. He's better. What I seem to do with this team is, if I'm losing, he's changed it to a 4-1-2-1-2. And this guy will drop in as the lone cam. And that seems where he plays better, because he's not the paciest, so he's not easy to run through on goal with. But he's got 3 goals in 9 games for me. He's quite tall. He's not the tallest, though. And that 71 shots, the main thing, what means he's good at distance for shooting. He costs 1,400 coins, and he's a decent player. He's not the greatest, but he's definitely worth getting if you're going to make a team with one cam. And I don't really suggest him if you're just going to play with if you're going to play the 2 cams like this in the 4-5-1. The next player is going to be Inu from Japan, or Inui, I think it is. He's very inconsistent for me. He plays for Frankfurt, and I don't know what his goal record's like for me. He's one of these where he'd score a really nice goal, and then I'd set him up for a chance, what looked really easy, and he'd miss. Maybe because he lacks physical ability, and he seems to lack a bit of balance. But anyway, he's got 81 pace, what means as a cam he can actually break quite well, and 66 shooting. It's not the worst with 77 dribbling. He's got 5 goals in 9 games. What's the second top scorer for this team? And so far, you'll be seeing the stats and thinking there's not many goals come through this team, and that's because I haven't added the striker yet. Now, there's 2 obvious options for this place, with it being a silver Bundesliga side, and that's Pukki or Malapa. And I didn't go for either of them. I went for this player that ended up being a right bargain, and he's called Erwin Hoffer. Now, I'll probably do an improbable player video on this guy because he's that good. He's got 87 pace, 71 dribbling, 67 shooting, And I thought he'd be, as he's not the strongest, I thought it'd be quite hard to use him as a lone striker. But this guy's goal record says it all. He's got 15 goals in 9 games for me, and that's against all goal teams apart from one. He seems to be able to score in any situation within 20 yards. Scoring from anywhere outside 20 yards is quite hard, but he's got good shot power, he's got good finishing, and he's an overall very, very good player. He cost me 400 coins, but it's an absolute bargain for how good he is. I tried Mlapa out, and I didn't particularly like him compared to this guy because if you put him through on goal, because of his 87 pace, he's really hard to catch, and he's also yes, it could be down to the handicap, but his finishing is superb, and he's a very, very good player for me. Overall, this squad is very, very strong. Um, like if you're struggling with it, you can obviously change the formation round in game. And with it being in a 4-5-1, it's also really cheap to buy, as a 4-5-1 isn't a particularly expensive formation. It's very good defensively, and attacking wise, it's really good. And I really suggest if you're wanting to use a silver team, to use this one, as it's a very strong team, and it can come up against the best goal sides and really compete. I've been the decisive gamer